Please guys, relax and please do inhale, As You Like It is all about dropping out of the everyday madness of modern capitalism. Today's cast are Rosalind and Celia, two tender cousins. Rosalind here is the daughter of the legitimate but banished Duke. I wanted to take a break in the forest anyway. While his younger brother Frederick has taken over power. That's Celia's dead. A similar brother story takes place in the house of the late Sir Roland de Bois, but here it is the elder brother Oliver who withholds inheritance and education from his younger brother Orlando, which is why Orlando's a good wrestler but a bad poet. Then we mention the fool Touchstone and Jacques, who is a kind of anti-fool, being a full-time melancholiac, while Touchstone is given to the joy of life. Of course, there's many more courtier and dropout parasites, as well as lusty shepherds, but we'll get to those. The play is about varieties of love, or rather l'amour, because it is set in France. Off we go at the Desbois place. Hey bro, why don't I get an education? What? And he tries to slap his brother but is flattened by him. I'm a street fighter boy, don't you know? You give me my inheritance and I'm off. And he goes, okay, but he's hardly gone when the Duke's wrestler pops up and goes, listen, tomorrow's a wrestling match at the Duke's. Tell your brother not to enter the fight or I can't guarantee his front teeth. No, go ahead, hit him hard or he'll never learn it. And if he doesn't get up again, all the better. At the Duke's court, the atmosphere is a little tense as well. Celia tries to console her cousin. Hey, only because my dad has banished your dad, you don't have to be this depressed. Here, full entertainment, cheer us up. But he's specialized in puns instead of really cheering up people. Fortunately, the wrestling match starts now. And the Duke goes, tell this young man he's gambling his life. The contestant is none other but Orlando, of course, and Rosalind goes, hello, I'd be much obliged if you didn't get yourself killed. And he goes, hello. Her worries, however, are all unnecessary because Orlando is the much better fighter and knocks out the Duke's wrestler. Well, congratulations, who are you? Orlando de Bois, youngest son of Sir Roland de Bois, my old enemy who supported my brother. And he leaves, but a courteous courtier warns Orlando, you'd better leg it, boy. And he only learns Rosalind's and Celia's names, but we learn that Rosalind is so in love. I'm so in love when the Duke comes back and goes, you are so banished. What? This is incredible. I'll accompany you to banishment and you had better dress up as a man. And fool? Yes. We'll take you along as car radio. On his way back home, Orlando is held up by his old servant who goes, stop! Your brother wants to kill you. What? What do I do now? We'll run off. We'll find a better place than this anywhere we go, and although I'm a pensioner, I've got 500 crowns. You gonna take me along? And because Orlando is broke, good-hearted, they flee together. Rosie has dressed up as a young shepherd named Ganymede, and Celia calls herself Elena now, and befooled as they are, they arrive at the forest of Arden. They meet two shepherds, one of them called Silvius, madly in love. Shepherds are basically always in love, and he goes to his buddy, whoa, I'm so in love, but this Phoebe girl, no. And off he goes, and Rosalind, here, shepherd, is there a restaurant or a hotel? No, there's only my shack. Oh, well, right, we'll buy that then. Because although they've got enough money, they don't have provisions. Just like Orlando, by the way. The only one who is adequately supplied in the forest is the old Duke, who's sitting at a picnic with his buddies when Orlando storms in and goes, take your fingers off the finger food and wrap it all up to take away. You're not a professional robber, are you? How do you know? Well, tuck in, laddie. You're so nice, I just have to get my old pal. And while Orlando's gone, Jack gives us the most famous quotation of the play, all the world's a stage, and we are all just actors performing one of 7 characters. When Orlando brings his old friend and tells the Duke that he is Sir Roland de Bois' son. What? Sir Roland was an old pal of mine. Sit down, take a cookie. So while he's taken up in a very friendly way, his brother is charged by Duke Frederick on penalty of death to find him, Orlando. So after Lando has gathered some strength at the cold buffet, he can now devote himself to his relationship status again. He does this by posting tweets in the form of small pieces of paper with poetry in the trees all over the forest. Naturally, they are seen, plucked and read after a short while by Rosalind, who goes, all the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosa lined. Oh, well, nice, another one. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. And the fool comes, well, I'll call that spam poetry. Here's another one. Sweetest nut hast sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. Oh, shut up, Celia! And Celia goes, he's more of an athlete than an aesthete, don't you think? And while they are talking, Orlando comes, and Rosie goes, whoa, hello! And he goes, hello, and after a little small talk, well, I'm so glad I'm not a woman if you're in love with one of those. Yes, what then? No, I'd rather heal the poor madman who's hung up all this poetry all over the forest. But that's me. Really? Okay, then let's do a therapeutic role play. You imagine I'm your beloved and woo me. Deal? Okay. And while we're at it, let me mention again that at Shakespeare's time, all the women were played by young men. So at this point, we have a young man playing a young woman dressed up as a young man who pretends to be a woman. That's cool, isn't it? In order for us to be able to reflect on another variety of love, namely physical love, the full touchstone has hooked up with a shepherd named Audrey. Hello, you're not pretty but horny. Work with horns, sheep. And he's called this reggae priest and tells him, we are going to get married. When Jacques passes by and recognizes Touchstone and goes, here, you're a courtier, you can't get married in the forest like this. Shit, with this funny priest here I could have said it was irregular afterwards. Rosalind cries on Celia's shoulder. He stood me up, he doesn't love me at all, but he doesn't know it's you. But in the game he does. When the shepherd in love enters with his girl, oh Phoebe, I love you so much, but I don't, piss off you stalker. And Rosie butts in. Oi, don't be such a bitch and better take him, you're not such a beauty after all. And when she's gone, the shepherdess Phoebe goes, whoo, whoo, I'm so in love. I'm going to write a letter to him and you'll carry it, Silvius. I'll do anything for love. And the role play between Rosie and Lando continues. Well, I'd kiss my Rosalind now. Ta-ta-ta, marriage first, Celia. Yes, I will. Yes, I will too. How long are you gonna love me? Forever and a day, but now I've got to go. Whoa, I'm so in love with him. And at this point, Jacques sings a song that we skip and the postman rings. That is Silvius delivers the letter which Phoebe has written to Ganymede. Boy, that bitch is dissing me. You are so like, oh my god, no other shepherd is so hard. You call that dissing? When Oliver enters, who we had nearly forgotten, and goes, hello, is there a young shepherd here who my brother Orlando calls Rosalind for some obscure reason? Yeah, that's me. Oh, hello. So I'm the evil brother Oliver. I mean, I have been the evil brother Oliver. I'm thoroughly reformed now. I was lying under a bush. Orlando finds me, sees a lion about to attack, fights the lion, kills him, and he's only very little hurt. Wah! And she swoons, swooning like a girl. I faked that well, didn't I? And they meet again. Boy, I'm so glad you're well. And the two of you know each other for 5 minutes and want to get married? Yeah. Great, and I can't get married to my Rosie. Tell you what, I'm a magician and I can beam her here tomorrow. And he goes, okay. But there's the shepherdess in love to get rid of, and Rosalind tells her, right, you want me, don't you? Yeah. Okay, if I ever get married to a woman, then it's you, but if you don't want me anymore, you're gonna take him, right? Deal? Yeah, okay. Then the most beautiful song of the whole play is sung, namely, There Was a Lover and His Lass. Listen in on that, it's real cool. And the Duke appears, and she goes, I'll now pull Rosie out of the shrubbery. And the Duke, that shepherd looks quite similar to my daughter, don't he? You don't say, I was thinking that too. And bang, she's changed her dress and goes, Daddy! And he goes, Rosie, can I marry this guy? Of course! And Phoebe goes, no, now I have to marry this dude. But in principle, all are happy. And besides the protagonists, there's also Touchstone, who's getting married to Audrey. So there's 4 weddings and no, not a funeral. As if people weren't happy enough already, another messenger arrives and goes, Mr. Duke, sir? Yeah. Your brother, Duke Frederick, was about to eradicate the hippie plague from this forest here with ground troops, but met a monk on the way and has now retreated to a monastery. And Jacques jumps in front of the camera and goes, yes, that's what I'll do too. This ending was getting far too happy to my melancholy taste. And the Duke goes, cool, then we'll have the party at home. And Rosalind steps forward for the epilogue. We'll treat literature just like love, guys, right? No matter if you're homo, hetero, or bilingual, it's just read and let read, just as you like it. And this, dear congregation, was As You Like It by William Shakespeare. Vielen Dank.